Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, The Elite Nurse Lifestyle, where we discuss all things fashion, most importantly, fragrances. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for stopping by. And to all my return subscribers, thanks as always for watching and for hanging out with us. Today I am going to discuss one of the houses that I have long since been obsessed with. I have had so many samples from this house, and I finally decided to pull the trigger. As you may see, I did a wish list haul recently, and that was one of the fragrances that I spoke about. And this fragrance is none other than Xerjoff's Bouquet Ideal, or Bouquet Ideal, tomato, however you pronounce it. And so there's so many from this house that are just amazing. I have another that I also got when I did my haul, and it's Alexandria THOO. That's also another amazing fragrances. So this year for 2021, as with everything, I have goals for my fragrance, collection. And the goal for 2021 is to get more fragrances that I typically maybe wouldn't venture into getting. I just want something unique, because I look at my collection and I'm like, I have so many beautiful fragrances that I love, right? But they're all pretty. It's all my favorite category of fragrances are oriental fragrances, and then florals, and like spicy, warm, green fragrances, and freshies would be like interchanging places with maybe the green and the freshies. So in that order, and so a lot of my fragrances are oriental fragrances, and I don't want my collection to all be like similar things. I want something different, something that's going to give me some oomph, something that you don't hear many people speak about, but it's almost like a hidden gem. And so when I bought Gris Charnel from BDK, that was my way of starting out my 2021 with a bang, right? Because it's like this green fragrance with notes that I haven't had in my other fragrances before. Like it has that fig tea note, I believe, and I don't have that in my fragrances. And so I was like, yes, this is how I want to do it. Like Delina has that rhubarb note. This is why I got that fragrance, because I just want something different. I don't want to have most of my fragrances, it's all like orange blossom and rose and vanilla and all the florals. And so this is why I wanted to venture into another realm of fragrances. And so the fragrance that I'm gonna be speaking about today is Bouquet Ideal. And so I mentioned this is from the house of Xerjoff, and Xerjoff is a beautiful fragrance brand, and they are known for using the best of the best quality materials for their fragrances. They use the highest quality and rare raw components to compose their fragrances, right? And this brand was found by Sergio Momo in, I believe, 2003. And so let's get into it. So here we have Bouquet Ideal, and it's from the Casamarati line. They have a few different lines that the brand is known for, but this is from the Casamarati line. And most of that line, you'll typically see the tassel. And so it opens up like this, guys. That's the back there. And it sits in this beautiful red foam casing. And so when you take it out, the bottle looks like this. Let me turn this that way so you can see. Bouquet Ideal. And from the Casa Mirati line, it has the Xerjoff name at the top right there. I don't know if you're gonna see that, but yeah, so right there. Okay, and it has this beautiful cover, and apparently, and I heard this from one of the reviewers that I really like to watch. She's so informative when it comes to her fragrances, and she said that you know, the brand comes from Torino in Italy. So it's a town in Italy that has the most Egyptian artifact, and so this is like a you know, the lid on the bottles are inspired from the pharaohs in Egypt. And so that was kind of cool to know. And it's just a stunning bottle, I think. But what does the fragrance smell like? So it's called Bouquet Ideal. But guys, this fragrance really is not floral. It's not really a floral fragrance. It doesn't have your jasmine or your violet or your iris, nothing like that. It actually leans a little bit more on the gourmand side. And I bought it a day, Christmas Eve. I actually bought this fragrance because I love fragrances with cinnamon and nutmeg, and it has that in it, and it reminds me of the Christmas time. And so I wanted to get it around that time of year, but it ended up coming like the second week in January. But the fragrance starts out really loud, and you definitely get that cinnamon and the nutmeg. And it also has one of the reasons why I bought it as well is because it has these unusual notes. I have a couple other fragrances with cinnamon and nutmeg, and the most there's another note that it has, which is tobacco. And so I love tobacco in my fragrances, and so when I saw you know, the unique notes that it had, I had to have it. But then when I smelt it, I was like, oh my god, I have this fragrance, I have this scent, I know this scent. And sure enough, I started smelling my fragrances, and then I came upon my golden powder by the House of Oud, and it had the exact same notes. And I sprayed my arm, each different, with one with the golden powder and one with the Bouquet Ideal, and it was the same exact thing. This one though, the dry down tend to last a little bit longer on my skin. For this one, the tobacco was, you know, is a little bit more prominent, I would say, in this fragrance as well. And so, but guys, it's the same thing. Like, honestly, if you have these two fragrances, take a sniff of both of them and tell me if you do not see the similarity in this fragrance. So it starts off, it has some of the notes. Let's go over that. It's warm, it's spicy. It has nutmeg, cinnamon, it's got the tobacco, it's got labdanum, vanilla, some woodsy notes as well. There's also sandalwood, guiac wood, cedar, papyrus, which is a note that they use to give like a warm and spicy essence to the fragrance, right? There's also musk and labdanum, vanilla, tonka, and like I said, tobacco. So beautiful, well blended fragrance. When you spray it, it's very loud. And my daughter, she loves this fragrance. So it has great projection, great sillage. People are gonna ask you, what is that you're wearing? They're gonna smell you, you know, even if you have your layers on. And I would definitely say it's best for like the cooler months. But if you're gonna wear it, in the summertime, I'd say maybe in the evening. But it is so beautiful, and it dries down a little bit powdery, but I absolutely love this fragrance. And guys, if you have this fragrance, let me know if this is one of your favorite Xerjoffs, and also leave me a note and let me know what other Xerjoff fragrances you absolutely love because I'm looking to get a little bit more from the house. I've looked into Cruz del Sur 2, I believe it is, and I'm looking into Lua and 40 knots and what's the other one in the white bottle? I think it's Bianca or something like that. Can't remember the first thing, but it's in a white bottle. And then I know there's Gran Ballo, but I don't know, that might be a little bit too sweet for me. So let me know what your faves are so I can check them out. Of course, everyone knows Lyra. I have samples of Lyra, but the reason I hadn't pulled the trigger on Lyra was because back then I had samples for Lyra, Sunshine from Amouage, Back to Black, all with tobacco, right? Because I love the smell of tobacco and fragrances. And when I got it and I tried Back to Black on my skin, it turned a little bit sour. So I was like, oh my God, I don't want to have to get a full bottle. And then, you know, it's like smelling the sour on my skin. But then, you know, I tried it a couple of times and tested it out, and it was just beautiful. So guys, thanks for watching and stay tuned.